Welcome back. My name is Justin, and in this video, I'm actually going to start a brand new series. It's where I am going to review popular expert advisors on the market. If you don't know what an expert advisor is, it is basically a robot that does all of the trading for you based on specific parameters. Let's say, for example, your trading strategy is based on divergence, and you develop a robot that automatically gets into trades based on bullish or bearish divergence, then that right there is an expert advisor based around divergence. This right here is an expert advisor that actually the person who created the kangaroo tail indicator that Todd and I use, he actually created this indicator called the SQN Max indicator, and it's also an EA. So I'll leave both links down below if you want to try out either of them because it does include a free demo. But let's just get straight to it. So before I actually show you here what the SQN Max is, I'm actually going to do a back test for you, a live back test. And this is going to be a 10-year back test. You heard that correctly. This is going to be a 10-year back test. And I spent probably, how long? Like 6 hours. Not even joking, not all at once, but in one day, I took breaks. I spent about 6 hours finding the perfect settings when it comes to, what settings I could use in this EA to have the best possible results. And I found the best settings when it comes to trading US indices, such as Dow Jones, S&P 500, NASDAQ, and the DAX. Even though the DAX, which is German 30, that is not in the US, that's basically the Dow Jones of Germany, right? So anyways, those 4 different indices perform the best with this specific indicator and EA. Now, this EA is actually designed for stocks. Like, it works very well with stocks, and I'm going to show you which stocks perform the best. And out of 1 year, trading all the stocks that he recommends on the site, it performed over 80% accuracy when it comes to the trades that hit take profit. So it is a very phenomenal EA. But anyways, without further ado, let's just get straight to it. So as you can see, I already have the SQN Max robot set up, and I have US 30, or in this case, this broker calls it DJI 30. This is Dow Jones. I have it set to the year 2010 of January 1st, all the way up until December 31st of 2019. And we're just going to keep it on open prices only. That just makes it so the back test goes faster. And here we are. We're going to have let's say a $1,000 account. The inputs, you want to scroll up and change this to long only. So for trade direction, so you're going to double click and you're going to click on long only. And then here for take profit ATR, you're going to set that to 7. And then the stop loss ATR, set that to 5. These are the settings that I have found to work the best for these indices when it comes to long-term results. Not 1 year results, not 2 year results, long-term results. And you're going to see why here. Scroll down, and for risk percent, I select 1%. That's very important. If you select any percentage that's higher, your results are going to be far less than what I'm about to show you. Okay. So 1%, and we go to the graph and let's press start. And as you can see, this thing just went straight up. So in 10 years, starting from January of 2010 all the way up to December of 2019, it did a 100% growth. Now you're probably thinking, Justin, I have seen EAs that can do 100% growth in 1 month. I've seen 100% growth in 2 months. I've seen 100% growth in a week. All of those EAs end up blowing your account. I'm pretty sure that there are a handful, just a small handful of EAs out there that actually work and they are profitable long term. But not many people know about them, either A, because they charge maybe $600, maybe $1,000 a month for it, or B, they're so powerful that they decide to keep it to themselves and they don't sell it to other people. So there are EAs out there that are successful long-term and short-term, but 99% of the ones you see out there where anyone can really buy, they're trash and they don't work. So they will grow your account in a short period of time. Maybe they're following the martingale strategy. Maybe they're doing all these different things. It's a high risk type of EA, all these different types of EAs that we have seen and that I've seen over the past 5 years that I've been trading. The reason why I'm very impressed with this one is because just with the indices alone for these specific settings I showed you, we're going to get into buy positions only, and the take profit ATR 7, stop loss ATR is 5. You connect it to something like Dow Jones, and in 10 years, it did 100% growth with a $1,000 account using 1% risk per trade. Now let's go ahead and change those settings And let's change it to a $10,000 account. Same thing, longs only. Same thing for these settings. And then risk percent is 1. So let's go ahead and do this and let's see what happens. So there we go. With a $10,000 account, we risked 1%. Instead of doing 100% growth, we did about 80 something percent growth in 10 years. So that's going to be about 8% per year growth that this EA has performed on autopilot with a $10,000 account. Now let's go ahead and do $100,000 and 1% risk. And let's see what happens in 10 years. So in 10 years, same thing, almost a 90% growth, which comes out to about 8.9 to like 9% per year that this is performed with a 10-year track record, with a 10-year back test with a $100,000 account, and one more zero for a $1 million account. Let's see what happens in 10 years. So it went from 1 million to 1.82 million. So basically an 82% growth in 10 years. So as you can see from the year 2014, from October 30th all the way down to October of 2015, it went down. So for one whole year, it was going down. So naturally, you can tell that if you start this EA and if you are losing for an entire year, it's not a guarantee that it's going to keep winning after that or it's going to keep losing after that. But now after seeing this 10-year back test, it's clear that you're going to have some winning years, some losing years. But over the past 10 years, this thing really did explode. As you can tell, it did phenomenally. Okay, so that right there was the result from trading the Dow Jones. Now, if you plug this in for NASDAQ, S&P 500, DAX, which is German 30, you will pretty much notice the same results. Some of them are like 50% in 10 years. Some of them are 70, 80%. But the US 30, that one did 100% with a $1,000 account. And of course, the higher the account balance, based on the back testing, for some reason, it has a lower profit over the years, but it's still an amazing profit. Now let's go back to the stock part here. Here, what he actually did, the creator of this, he connected it to different stocks. And here are all the stocks that he has found to have the best results. And if you want to get the demo, or if you just want to buy the software, whatever it may be, and if you find a stock that works great that is currently not on this list, then feel free to contact the owner or feel free to contact me, and then I'll forward it to him so he can update this list with stocks that have a big accuracy, a really good accuracy, a winning ratio. So right here, you can tell all of these stocks, if you add up the results for all of these stocks, here is the growth that it had. So from all of those stocks combined for the year 2019, there was a total of 560 trades across 60 different stocks. 501 of those 560 trades were successful. And out of the 560 trades, 59 lost. So that is an 89.5% winning accuracy. The profit was a total of $172,000 from this account. Let's see the floating. So the floating drawdown, the highest drawdown at one point right here was 5.9%. So a 5.9% drawdown with a 170% growth. So you're free to do a longer back test, but basically what we have found is that it works best for US stocks and the US indices. So that is my review of the SQN Max indicator and EA. Before I wrap this video up, I want to give my honest opinion about it and the pros and cons about it. Now, the pro of this EA is that it is very great for long-term investments if you are an indice trader. If you are not an indice trader, then this is great for stocks. I personally connected this to almost every single Forex pair, including gold and silver, and it was almost impossible to find something that had the same 10-year back test compared to these indices such as Dow Jones, US 30, S&P 500, and DAX. So with that being said, I would not recommend using this EA or indicator trading on anything except for stocks and indices. Now, when it comes to the stocks that work the best, again, I'm going to leave multiple links down below for the indicator, for the EA, and a list of stocks that have already been back tested for at least 3 years, which is the one I showed you in this video. That entire list of stocks, those stocks were each tested for 3 years straight. So I'll leave those links down below so you can see it. Now, here's the downside about this indicator in EA. I live in the US, so I am restricted to using specific brokers offshore that do accept US clients. If you want to see which brokerage I use, again, the link is down below so you can check that out. The great thing about the brokerage I use is that they do accept US clients and they let you trade cryptocurrency, stocks. You can trade Forex, you can trade, gold, silver, pretty much anything you want. You can trade it on that brokerage, but you do not have the ability to trade 300 to 500 stocks. There are brokerages offshore, for example, in Australia or London, that let you trade a total of 500 stocks, which is amazing. It's phenomenal the amount of stocks they let you trade. But if you live in the US, you can't use those brokerages. So that is the only downside of a product like this. It's not the developer's fault. It's just the fact that regulations with brokerages, you don't have access. If you live in the US, you don't have access to a broker that lets you trade 300 stocks. You only have access to a broker that lets you trade 50 or less. So that is kind of the thing that we're stuck with here. So again, I think this is great for people who have a long-term investing mindset when it comes to indices with those specific settings that I found. I think this is great if you have a 10+ year mindset with this. If you don't have a 10+ year mindset with indice trading, then I do not recommend using this. But if you're looking to day trade stocks, which you can make some pretty good profits with these Forex brokers trading stocks because of leverage, then I highly recommend this indicator because of the success rate with this. Now, let's say you don't want to trade on leverage, but you want to utilize this indicator to get alerts when to invest in your stock portfolio. You can do that as well, considering it's just giving you an alert when to get into a trade. So if these alerts are having a high accuracy over many years from a back test, then I personally would just hop on my Robinhood account, my Fidelity, wherever I have my stocks, and I could just buy those stocks there because guess what? You can buy any stock you want on these exchanges, but with a Forex broker, you can't. So once again, I think this is great if you're looking to day trade stocks and if you are looking to hold a long-term investment in your Forex account for indices. But if you're looking to connect this to Forex, I do not recommend it because like I said before, I connected it to almost every single Forex pair and it was impossible for me to find something that was consistent long-term. There are a lot of MLM companies popping up here and there, and they all have this magic secret for this EA that can make you a lot of money. They charge $200 a month, and they try justifying it. And I want to know, what EA are you using? Should I test it out? From now on, any EA that I test out on this new series called EA Review, as you saw in the intro for this video, I am going to put my own hard-earned money to the test with these EAs. Meaning, for example, I'll deposit $1,000 into my Osprey account, and I'll test out the EA for about 15 to 30 days, and I'll give you my honest opinion about it. I'm very excited to see what we come up with, to see what EAs we can find. Let's see if these are legit or not. So with that being said, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.